Every member of the Venom Symbiote family explored. Hello and welcome to another marvelous video. We often associate Spider-Man with a number of his enemies, such as Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus. However, there is one villain that comes to mind even before them, and that is none other than Venom. Since its introduction in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 252, the Dark Symbiote has fascinated fans with its unique and appealing characteristics, leaving them eager for further developments in the world of Spider-Man. After over 3 decades, many symbiotes populate the Marvel Universe, prompting some fans to worry about the total number of Venom symbiotes that exist. Have no fear, since we are here to tell you exactly about that and more. So strap in as we look at the backstories of each member of the Venom symbiote family. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Venom, starting off the list with the primary alien himself, Venom. The alien symbiote that we're familiar with as Venom first came into existence during the reign of the eldritch god of darkness, Null. Different accounts suggest that it was either the first symbiote crafted by Null or the 998th member of its family. However, a significant portion of its history is shrouded in mystery, as its recollections have been erased, altered, and tampered with several times. The symbiote was ejected from its group after violating Null's directives and was later discovered by Kree explorers. They fused it with Telkar, a soldier, and used its shape-changing ability to break into the Skrull army. However, Telkar erased the symbiote's memories and abandoned it when he rescued a group of Kree refugees. The symbiote later bonded with an unidentified extraterrestrial who used it to exterminate his own species, resulting in the symbiote developing a reliance on aggression. During the events of Secret Wars, Spider-Man encountered this symbiote for the first time and bonded with it, allowing it to merge its abilities into his DNA. However, the web slinger eventually rejected the symbiote after realizing that it was a sentient being with its own consciousness. Later, Eddie Brock, a journalist who blamed Spider-Man for ruining his career, sought sanctuary in a church, intending to end his life. The symbiote was present in the church and sensed Brock's intense resentment. It merged with him, resulting in the creation of the infamous supervillain, Venom. Venom relies on bonding with a living host to survive, but can also sustain itself independently. The symbiote can shapeshift, including the ability to grow spikes or increase its size, and it can mimic other humanoid forms once it has bonded with a host. Also, when bonded with a host, the symbiote substantially increases their physical strength, causing a significant gain in muscle mass and size. It has non-human teeth that are incredibly sharp and frequently extend to a long, flexible tongue from its mouth. Venom is generally depicted as larger than Spider-Man and possessing more raw strength. However, Venom is vulnerable to fire and sonic waves, which can cause it to experience severe discomfort and exhaustion if exposed to them for an extended period. Carnage. Speaking of its vulnerabilities, it's time to talk about one of Venom's greatest foes, Carnage. Cletus Cassidy, a notorious serial killer, merged with the offspring of the Venom alien symbiote during a prison escape, resulting in the creation of Carnage. The symbiote enhanced Cassidy's already unstable personality, making him even more dangerous. The Carnage symbiote's abilities surpass those of its predecessor due to its unique gestation in an unfamiliar environment, which is Earth. It grants Cassidy incredible physical strength, exceeding that both of Spider-Man and Venom, as well as shape-shifting capabilities, allowing it to generate a web-like substance from any part of his body and form weapons. The symbiote also has the ability to implant thoughts in a person's mind using a tendril. Just like Spider-Man, Cassidy can stick to virtually any surface and has a form of the web-slinger's heightened sense of danger known as the spider sense. The symbiote can transmit information to Cassidy from any angle, allowing him to see in all directions and anticipate incoming threats. Cassidy has an exceptional ability to regenerate body tissues, which is much faster and more comprehensive than that of a typical human being. He can regrow any lost body part from head to feet, and the symbiote grants him complete control over its physical attributes, such as size, shape, color, texture, and hardness. He can make it appear as regular clothing or use it for camouflage, similar to Venom. Scream. In the Venom Lethal Protector plotline, Eddie Brock endeavors to live a sincere life while the Wicked Life Foundation extracts Venom's seeds and cultivates them into 5 new symbiotes to act as their personal team of guards. The most dominant among the first-generation offspring of Venom is called Scream. an unsteady being that bonded with the mentally unbalanced security agent of Life Foundation named Donna Diego. Carlton Drake was conducting experiments with symbiotes to create what he dubbed super cops, who would monitor the envisioned paradise of a fallout shelter, and Donna was chosen from a security force composed of police officers, soldiers, and mercenaries. Scream displayed her might by slaying her 4 siblings in a fit of rage, using her hair and tendrils as weapons. Furthermore, once Venom killed Donna, Scream manipulated the deceased woman's body, a stunning feat given that symbiotes are parasites that rely on a living host to survive. The Scream symbiote had a unique appearance compared to other symbiotes in the Marvel Universe. It had a predominantly yellow and orange color scheme with white eyes, which set it apart from the traditional black and red color scheme of Venom and Carnage. When bonded with a host, the Scream symbiote had the ability to provide its host with physical features such as a stretched jaw, sharp teeth, claws, and even flexible hair, which were actually extensions of the symbiote's own body. Apart from the usual super strength and speed, Scream could mimic her clothing to blend in with her surroundings. She also shared similarities with Spider-Man and Venom in that she could climb walls, swing with the help of webs, and possessed a predictive sense that warned her of impending danger. Overall, Scream is a distinct and fascinating character in the Marvel Comics world, having a distinct appearance and abilities that distinguish her from other symbiotes. Her transformation from villain to anti-hero makes her a complicated and compelling character that fans of Spider-Man and Venom comics have adored for decades. Agony. As seen in the Lethal Protector story arc, Agony is the sister of Scream, belonging to the group of 5 symbiote offspring of Venom, created by Life Foundation and their leader, Carlton Drake. The symbiote not only grants its host the standard powers of Venom, but also cloaks them with a blend of dark purple and pink biomass that enhances their physical abilities to a superhuman level. Its unique ability to manipulate biomass in various ways may be attributed to Earth's atmosphere. Furthermore, Agony could use her metabolism to expel acid as an attack. Lasher. Lasher was the 3rd offspring of Venom, a sibling of Scream and Agony. The Lasher symbiote has a green and light aqua coloration and has the ability to provide its host with elongated claws. Its feet are distinctive, having only 2 visible toes instead of a typical boot-like shape. Additionally, the symbiote can manipulate its body to take on various shapes and forms. When bonded with Ramon Hernandez, a mercenary, the Lasher symbiote enveloped him with greenish biomass and elevated his innate abilities to superhuman levels. In addition, the symbiote manifested 6 tentacles on its upper back, with 3 on each side. Its primary mode of attack involved forming long tendrils that functioned like whips, which were especially useful for trapping and lashing at opponents. These tendrils appeared to have a protective layer of mucus surrounding them. Phage. Here comes the 4th sibling, Phage. This orange-colored symbiote bonded with Karl Mach, another security force member from Life Foundation. Phage possessed the same strength and abilities as the Venom symbiote and could even generate bladed weapons from his hands, similar to those of Carnage. Subsequently, Phage attempted to take on the role of the leader of the Life Foundation's group of symbiotes. Eventually, Phage lost his leadership position to Scream due to his inferior power compared to Carnage and Venom. He then bonded with the dog and enjoyed its life as a predator. Later, he became controlled by Carnage's new symbiote collective consciousness and had to join forces with a new host. Riot. This brings us to the final symbiote sibling created by the Life Foundation through the forced reproduction of Venom to serve as guards and enforcers for the organization and their clients. Riot's appearance is similar to his father, Venom, with the main difference being his blue coloration. He bonded with the mercenary named Trevor Cole. The exact degree of Riot's physical strength is never disclosed, but it was evident that he had a considerably robust build among the other Life Foundation symbiotes. The symbiote could move at super speeds, exceeding the limit of human perception. Riot differed from the other symbiotes as it tended to create massive blunt weapons such as hammers and maces from its arms, which may have been influenced by its host, Trevor's aggressive mindset. In the 2018 Venom movie, Riot was chosen as the primary villain despite being considered the least creative of the Life Foundation symbiotes. However, the film gave the blue symbiote a chance to showcase its strength, as he proved to be a formidable opponent of Venom. Unlike the comics, Riot was depicted as an extraterrestrial entity that arrived on Earth alongside Venom and was shown to be more powerful than Venom in the movie. Toxin. The symbiote known as Toxin was created from Carnage's lineage as the 1000th symbiote and was believed to be the most formidable and hazardous of its kind. Once it was formed, the symbiote bonded with a police officer named Pat Mulligan. Spider-Man saw Toxin as his true ally among the symbiotes, despite having temporary alliances with Venom before. Even before its birth, Carnage despised the new symbiote and feared that it could be more powerful than him. Meanwhile, Venom became aware of Carnage's pregnancy and attempted to protect the new symbiote, hoping to raise it as a new ally. However, Venom was worried that the new symbiote, being the 1000th of their kind, might have genetic breakdowns that could lead to psychotic and violent behavior. Patrick Mulligan was a New York City police officer who was dealing with personal concerns due to his demanding profession and the stress of starting a new family. While on duty one night, he happened to come across the place where Carnage was giving birth to Toxin. To keep the symbiote hidden from Venom, Carnage attached it to Mulligan, who became the symbiote's new host. The Toxin symbiote inherited the powers of its two predecessors, including the ability to adhere to walls, transform into another human, and build infinite webbing. Toxin's look was red from the belly upwards and black from the abdomen downwards, since Patrick Mulligan was the initial host. Like its father, Carnage, Toxin would blend in with its environment and become invisible, a skill acquired from its grandpa Venom, and can also manufacture solid weapons from its limbs. Toxin differed from other symbiotes in that it did not attempt to seize control over the mind of its human host. Instead, the symbiote engaged in discussions with its human host and expressed its own opinions. Scorn. After being torn apart by the Sentry beyond Earth's atmosphere, Carnage was presumed dead, but it was later discovered that it had survived and returned to Earth. Michael Hall found Carnage and brought it back to Shriek and Dr. Tanis Nieves, who used Shriek's abilities to keep Carnage alive. They hoped to use the symbiote's characteristics to develop prosthetic limbs and exosuits that would function like symbiotes. Dr. Tanis Nieves received a cutting-edge prosthetic arm through an experimental procedure, and while temporarily bonded to the Carnage symbiote, it gave birth to a new symbiote called Scorn. Scorn took up residence in the Doctor's prosthetic arm and acquired new abilities to control and bond with technology, enabling it to become technopathic. Since the Scorn symbiote was grown inside a cyber-symbiotic prosthetic and it had merged with technology to the point that there was no clear line between the symbiote and robotics. It was primarily colored in purple and gray and had a more muscular build compared to Scream and Mania, but was not as large as Venom. Based on the shine on the gray parts of its body and its strong resistance to electric attacks, it is speculated that the symbiote may be partially metallic. The symbiote was techno-organic, allowing Tanis to manipulate and integrate technology into her own being. This ability extended to a wide range of technology, from advanced weaponry to complete modification of vehicles. Sleeper. Eddie Brock and Venom had a difficult period when Eddie discovered that Venom was concealing that it would spawn. Feeling that the offspring might become another Carnage, Eddie decided to keep it safe and isolated in Alchemax after it was born. While there, the young symbiote closely connected with Dr. Steven, who conducted experiments on it. The symbiote developed chemokinetic skills, enabling it to produce pheromones and chemicals with varying effects. It became known as Sleeper and bonded with a few hosts, but usually took the form of a feline-like creature on its own. Its first host was Eddie Brock. Sleeper, in addition to possessing the typical abilities of Spider-Man and Venom, could also produce a range of chemicals and pheromones that could induce various mental states such as euphoria and sleep. In contrast to the other members of its family, it could materialize a physical form without needing to bond with a host, and it did not yet have eyes that resemble the ones on Spider-Man's suit. Its skin was black and it possessed 4 eyes with red irises. Sleeper could divide into several branch symbiotes linked to various hosts and controlled remotely by the primary symbiote. It could also make self-assembling, remote resonant ectoplasm, allowing it to build a functioning replica of itself while remaining active elsewhere. It also had the ability to transform into different shapes, such as a feline or lupin form, as well as taking on the appearance it assumes when not bonded to a host. Hybrid. After the events of the separation anxiety and Scream's departure from the Life Foundation, the remaining symbiotes were imprisoned in the raft. A guard named Scott Washington witnessed their experiments, but initially didn't care about their suffering. However, he later developed empathy and helped them escape. The symbiotes combined to create a new powerful entity called Hybrid, which bonded with Scott. Using the Hybrid symbiote, Scott sought revenge against the gang that left him paralyzed and killed his brother. It had predominantly red skin with black accents. Hybrid hybrid shared many abilities with Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage, such as wall crawling, web slinging, and shaping his symbiote into weapons and a membrane for gliding. It had the ability to provide its host with features such as sharp teeth, claws, and tentacles, which are actually a part of its own body. Additionally, Hybrid had enhanced strength, durability, and the ability to shoot off independent pieces of his symbiote to communicate with allies. The Mercury Team. In the Carnage USA story, when Carnage attempted to conquer the city of Doverton, Colorado, the U.S. Army assembled the Mercury Team, consisting of 4 soldiers from different military branches to protect the city. They were provided with symbiotes from the now separated Hybrid, with each member using their symbiote for a specific purpose. Let's check out the members, starting with Officer Marcus Sims, who was a 10th Special Forces group member and had been assigned to Lasher to use it as a weapon, as it could bond with war dogs and other bipedal creatures. Next was Lieutenant James Murphy, a Navy SEAL specializing in heavy munitions who had been assigned to Agony, which transferred the weight of a weapon directly to the ground, making it easier for the user to carry heavy artillery. The third member was Lieutenant Rico Axelson, also a Navy SEAL member, a sniper assigned to the symbiotic Phage. This symbiote allowed the user to hit targets from impossible distances that are usually out of reach for a standard sniper. And last, Petty Officer Howard Ogden, a member of MARSOC, specializes in reconnaissance and direct action. He had been assigned to Riot, which allowed the user to move quickly and silently and climb walls. Reyes, as part of a ritual involving the Darkhold, former FBI Special Agent Claire Dixon bonded with the Reyes symbiote created by Carnage. Agent Claire Dixon was the leader of an FBI team assigned to eliminate Carnage, who had become the target of a cult that worshipped the elderly deity Chthon. Carnage developed the ability to generate controllable symbiote spawns at will after he was exposed to the magic of the Darkhold. One of these spawns was the Reyes symbiote, which bonded with Agent Dixon and put her under Cassidy's control. However, she was eventually liberated when another symbiote, which had merged with Jubilal Van Scotter, utilized the Reyes symbiote to vanquish Chthon and imprison Cassidy. Reyes possessed green-colored skin and had yellow-colored irises. When bonded with a host as Reyes, the symbiote had the ability to provide features such as a stretched jaw, sharp teeth, claws, tentacles, and even a forked tongue, which were all part of its own body. Despite not having any opportunities to display her abilities, Reyes was more powerful than most of the other symbiotes spawned by Carnage and Venom. Being one of Carnage's offspring, she possessed greater strength than any of Venom's progeny. Venom 2099. In the Earth 928 universe, set in the year 2099, the Venom symbiote underwent mutations, resulting in the acquisition of new abilities, such as acid saliva and blood, and a higher level of intelligence and threat. However, this advanced symbiote was bonded to Kron Stone, who intended to just use it to torment Spider-Man 2099. Kron's molecular bond with the symbiote transformed him to an extreme degree, even in his human form. He had superhuman strength and agility, surpassing that of Spider-Man, and could recover from fatal injuries. Additionally, he could create web-like strands of an alien substance and change his molecules into a watery substance because of his adaptable skin and skin-shifting powers. Mania. The Mania symbiote, also known as Maniac, was created by the Ararat Corporation. It was a clone of the Venom symbiote, made using a piece of Venom's tongue. Bob, who wanted to eradicate all life on Earth, intended to use this symbiote for his goal. Patricia Robertson, a lieutenant in the U.S. Army, eventually bonded with the Mania symbiote. She controlled the clone with the help of a cybernetic collar and planned to use it to kill Eddie Brock, the original Venom. But Bob's actions caused the clone to merge back with the original symbiote, making Venom more powerful. However, Bob's plan to exterminate all life on Earth never succeeded. Later, a former soldier, Flash Thompson, bonded with the Venom symbiote and became Agent Venom. During his time as a substitute gym teacher in Philadelphia, Jack-O-Lantern attempted to kill one of his students, Andy Benton, with poison gas. To protect her, Flash unintentionally bonded the symbiote clone to Andy, who was unaware of its true nature. Andy then dubbed herself Mania and began to fight crime. Mania was a black symbiote resembling Venom. However, it had 6 eyes and the symbol on its chest was more of a wing shape compared to Venom. Mania could also sprout additional limbs, further enhancing its spider-like appearance. In the events depicted in the storyline of The Secret History of Venom, Mania only had 2 eyes. Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom was formed from the remains of the symbiote inside Eddie Brock's body. These remnants were infused with the powers of Martin Lee, or better known as Mr. Negative, creating an artificial being that sometimes acted as a hero. Anti-Venom was an unintended result of a series of events involving Eddie Brock, who was dying from cancer, and Mac Gargan, who was temporarily bonded with the Venom symbiote. With the help of Martin Lee, the director of Feast, Eddie's cancer was cured using Lee's light force abilities, but he experienced unexpected side effects. When the Venom symbiote tried to leave Gargan and bond with Brock, remnants of the symbiote mixed with Eddie's newly altered biology and formed a new symbiote entity, which would later be called Anti-Venom. This accidental creation became one of the most powerful symbiotes ever. He had a white skin with a black face and a spider emblem on his chest. Anti-Venom possessed the typical powers of a symbiote, but its more notable ability was its cleansing touch, which could be extremely painful or even fatal to other symbiotes. This touch could also affect Spider-Man, causing him to temporarily lose his powers. Bizarnage. In the 1990s, Marvel and DC collaborated to produce a series of one-shot comic books that took place in a blended universe called the Amalgam Universe, situated on Earth 9602. These comics combined characters from both companies into a single entity, merging heroes and villains into one personality. One of these characters was Bizarnage, a fusion of Carnage and Bizarro, which earned an honorary place in the symbiote family. Bizarnage was a symbiote created by Project Cadmus through the synthetic replication of alien DNA. Unfortunately, the experiment went awry, and the crystalline symbiote broke free from its embryonic tube, causing destruction and chaos in Project Cadmus. However, Spider-Boy, an amalgamation of Spider-Man and Superboy, were able to defeat Bizarnage and save the day. Bizarnage possessed most of Carnage's abilities and could bond with any human host, but he was fixated on bonding only with Spider-Boy. It uses the term Bizarnagizing to describe its bonding process with human hosts.
What the hell are you? We are Venom.
Marvelous verdict. That brings us to the end of the video. To summarize, the Venom symbiote family tree is broad and diversified, with several distinct personalities and storylines. Each member of the Venom family, from the original Venom, Eddie Brock, to more recent rivals like Mania and Anti-Venom, has their own particular features and talents. The symbiote's capacity to link with multiple hosts has opened up unlimited possibilities in the Marvel Comics world, resulting in some of comic book history's most memorable story arcs and characters. The destiny of the Venom symbiote family is unknown, but one thing is for sure: they will remain a formidable force in the Marvel Universe for many years to come. Who is your favorite member of the family? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked the video, hit the button and share it with all your friends. I will see you in the next video. Bye!
On second